Media and journalism.
Good morning and welcome to the midweek edition of TAS TV News. Today being the 3rd July 2025. I'm Derrick Kamuli and here are the top stories making headline. First stories, Kenyans across the country are set to hold peaceful marches to mark 1 year since the deadly storming of Parliament. The nationwide demonstration aimed to remember those who died during the chaos and demand justice and reform. While organizers stress non-violence, authorities are on alert, concerned about potential as tension remains high ahead of what expected to be a significant day of national reflection. Our reporter Leila Fondo with more information.
Kenyans across the country are expected to hold peaceful marches today to mark the 1-year anniversary of the deadly storming of Parliament, a moment that deeply impacted the nation. The demonstrations are being organized to honor the lives lost during the violence and to renew calls for justice, accountability, and political reform. Organizers have urged participants to maintain peace and unity throughout the day. However, tensions remain high and authorities have heightened security in anticipation of potential unrest. Civil rights groups and the international community are closely monitoring this situation, viewing the anniversary as a critical test of Kenya's commitment to democratic expression and the right to protest. The day carries deep emotional weight for many citizens still seeking closure. Reporting for TAS TV.
Governor Abdi Nguyo faces impeachment over misconduct and stalled developments, a motion backed by all the 18 MCAs. However, the High Court has temporarily halted proceedings, issuing a controversial order until Nguyo's petition is heard. This dramatic turns follows reports of MCA moved for security. Nguyo denied all politically motivated allegations, vowing to clear his name. The County Assembly has 7 days to respond with a compliance hearing set for June 30th. Our reporter Mary with more information.
It is in Isiolo where high-stakes political battle is unfolding. Governor Abdi Nguyo faces impeachment over allegations of misconduct, but today it is temporarily to execute key development projects.
The governor has violated Article 73 of the Constitution and the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 and the responsibility of leadership by failing to professionally perform his constitution and becoming language which undermines the office he holds the county administration. D. The governor has violated the Articles 73 and 75 of the Constitution on the conduct of state officer that is demeaning to his office, the whole and Section 11 of the Leadership and Integrity Act.
Its advisor and 31 chief officers, despite being among Kenya's lowest funded counties.
Interesting statement that even when I watched it, I couldn't watch it to conclusion. I started asking myself, this is a leader demonstrating behavior unbecoming of a leader of the stature of a governor of a county.
But in dramatic turn, the High Court in Isiolo, led by Justice Heston Nyaga, has issued a conservatory order on June 16th, suspending the impeachment until Nguyo's petition is fully heard. Tensions escalated recently, with sources reporting that MCAs were moved to Nakuru and Machakos over security fears ahead of the debate. Governor Nguyo, who denies all the allegations, argues that the impeachment is politically motivated and insists that he will clear his name through the due process. Justice Nyaga has given the County Assembly 7 days to file a response and Nguyo's team 3 days thereafter. The case is set for a compliance hearing on June 30th. As this legal battle unfolds, Kenyans are watching to see whether the impeachment will proceed or if the due process will prevail. Reporting for TAS TV from Thika Town, Kiambu County.
Anger and anguish erupted in Nairobi yesterday as protesters demanded justice for Albert Ojwang, who died turned into violent clashes. What began peacefully quickly escalated with the police and hired goons comforting demonstrators. Disturbing footages show two anti-riot officers beating and shooting an unarmed mask seller on Moi Avenue, leaving him in critical condition. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights reports 22 casualties, with injuries ranging from gunshot wounds and head cut to whiplashes and asthma attack from tear gas. Our reporter with more information.
Anger and anguish erupted in the heart of Nairobi yesterday as protesters poured into the streets demanding justice for Albert Ojwang, who died while in police custody.
That have condoned, barricaded the venue that we were supposed to initiate and begin our peaceful demonstration calling for justice for the late Albert Ojwang.
What had been intended as peaceful protest to demand accountability over the murder turned into all-out clash between peaceful protesters, police, and the hired goons. Two anti-riot officers were caught on camera cornering an unarmed mask seller on the streets along Moi Avenue, beating him before shooting him on the head, leaving him in a critical condition. However, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Vice Chairperson, Dr. Raymond Nyeris, has reported 22 casualties and revealed that out of them, the majority of the injuries range from gunshot wounds, head cuts, whiplashes, and asthma from inhaling the tear gas. Reporting for TAS TV from Thika Town, Kiambu County, is Ashley Owuor.
Tensions continue to rise within the Kenyan Kwanza coalition as President William Ruto, speaking in Lugari, issued a bold challenge to Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the opposition leaders, arguing them to settle matters outside. The president slammed those he accused of fueling tribalism and bitterness, warning that Kenya is bigger than any other individual. His remarks are widely seen as a sharp response to Gachagua's recent calls for Mount Kenya unity and Gachagua recent calls for Mount unity and debatable resources sharing proposal. Our reporter Eve Kagendo with more information.
President William Ruto issued a fiery challenge during a public address in Lugari, Kakamega County, directing pointed remarks at former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and opposition leaders.
Hiyo ndio kazi mlinipatia. Na hiyo ndio kazi mimi nafanya. Na nafanya na bidii sana. Mimi mnanielewa? Hawa watu wengine hawana mpango, musipoteze na we cannot hand over to people hawana mpango. Ati mpango yao Ruto must go. Sasa Ruto must go itakusaidia na nini? Hujui vile vijana wetu watapata kazi, hujui vile kilimo itaendelea, hujui vile watoto watasoma, huna mpango ya ajira ya vijana, you have no plan to do anything. Ni mtakubali hii story yao watu ambao hawana mpango yoyote. Ati kazi yao kubwa ni ukabila, shares, sijui ya nani, sijui chuki, sijui kisirani. Hata mwangalia wakiongea, wanaongea na kisirani mingi sana. Ni kama sijui nani aliwakosea. Na kama wako na kisirani na mimi, wawachane na Wakenya, wakuje tukutane kando huko. Kama namna gani? Nitawamalizia pale kando. Wao watu sijui kama tunaelewana. Ya muhimu, ndugu zangu watu wa Kakamega, ya muhimu ni vile vijana wetu watapata kazi, vile kilimo itatupatia pesa, vile watoto wetu watasoma, na vile matibabu itapatikana. That is what is important to us as a people, to the people of Kakamega, to the people of Western, and to the people of Kenya.
In a bold and confrontational tone, Ruto said, "Come, let's settle this outside," signaling growing political tension within his Kenya Kwanza coalition and against rival camps.
Let us ignore the naysayers. Let us ignore those who have nothing to offer to us except insults, name-calling, and ethnicity. Let us focus on the future of the nation. And I am confident about the future of Kenya.
The president criticized leaders who, according to him, are driven by personal interest, tribal politics, and anger, rather than national unity and development. People are walking around with bitterness, trying to divide the country along ethnic lines. Kenya is bigger than any individual, Ruto declared. Reporting for TAS TV, Thika Kiambu, I'm Evelyn.
Tension continues to escalate as Israel intensifies its military offensive against Iran, striking over 100 strategic targets in Tehran and other key cities. In response, Iran has launched a wave of missiles and drone attacks on major Israel cities, resulting in numerous civilian casualties on both sides. As the conflict enters the fifth day, global leaders are urging for de-escalation amid rising fears of a broader regional war. Take a listen.
President William Ruto issued a fiery challenge during a public address in Lugari, Kakamega County, directing pointed remarks at former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and opposition leaders.
Hiyo ndio kazi mlinipatia. Na hiyo ndio kazi mimi nafanya. Na nafanya
drone strikes across Iran targeting nuclear and military sites, including surface-to-surface missile production facilities and detection radar sites. This operation has resulted in at least 224 fatalities and over 1,200 injuries in Iran, with many civilians among the victims. Israel forces claims to have destroyed 1/3 of Iran's surface-to-surface missile launchers and achieved. Tehran has launched barrages of missiles and drones, hitting Israel cities and towns, causing at least 24 deaths and 592 injuries. A major oil refinery in Haifa was among the targets. The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed intercepting over 100 Iranian UAVs. Both sides remain defiant, with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asserting the offensive aims to thwart nuclear and missile threats. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi vowed to pummel Israel until attack stops.
پارس یک اشتباه بزرگ راهبردی است که احتمالاً با عمد و با قصد صورت میگیره و هدف اون کشاندن جنگ به فراتر از خاک ایران هست. منطقه خلیج فارس منطقه بسیار حساس و پیچیده‌ای هست و هر گونه تحول نظامی در اون میتونه کل منطقه رو و بلکه کل جهان رو درگیر بکنه. رژیم اسرائیل خواهان هیچ توافقی در موضوع هسته‌ای نیست، خواهان مذاکره نیست، خواهان دیپلماسی نیست و تجاوز به ایران در میانه مذاکرات هسته‌ای نشون دهنده مخالفت رژیم اسرائیل با هر گونه مذاکره‌ای هست. الان هم کاری که انجام شده دقیقاً برای تخریب دیپلماسی، تخریب مذاکره بوده و ما متاسف هستیم که
escalation with the China urging its citizens to leave Israel as soon as possible, and the G7 leaders affirming Israel's rights to defend itself while urging Iran not to develop nuclear weapons. US President Donald Trump cut short his G7 summit visit, signaling deeper US involvement in crisis. Trump urged Iran to negotiate, stating Iran is not winning this war and they should talk immediately before it's too late. The conflict's trajectory remains uncertain, with both sides dug in and the potential for further escalation high. Reporting live from TAS TV, I'm Terry Esther.
We'll take a short commercial break, but there is much more ahead of TAS TV news. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Ready to learn German? TAS College is the perfect place to start. Grab a partial scholarship opportunity in German language beginner course today and unlock new opportunities to work abroad.
Guten Morgen. Good morning. Guten Tag. Good afternoon. Guten Abend. Good evening. These are some of the words that you will be learning in our school. So come and join the new beginner classes for German classes at our school.
Whether it is for travel, career, or personal growth, Task College has you covered. Whether you prefer online or physical classes, we have the ideal learning option for you. With monthly intakes and experienced instructors, you will be speaking German in no time. We are located in Vika Town along Kenyatta Highway at Nema Plaza 2nd floor opposite Vika Bazaar building. Ready to begin? Call 0798-154-042 to enroll today. Task College, striving through talent.
Welcome back. As we move on, Kikuyu Member of Parliament and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah claims destruction of property during protests held on Wednesday of June 2025 by Gen Z is a remnant of those who died in 2024 and anti-finance bill demos. Justin Siva looked into this story.
The Wednesday of June 25th protests, which were held in remembrance of those who died in the 2024 anti-finance bill demos, not only affected the common citizens but also the politicians. Kikuyu Member of Parliament and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah was one of the legislators who had a story to tell.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to second this motion. Honorable Speaker, as I second this motion, it's important. Order. It's important, Honorable Speaker, as I second this motion, for us to be clear on what the motion is asking us to do. One, Honorable Speaker, is to affirm and acknowledge that the people of Kenya and every citizen in the Republic of Kenya has the right to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent.
He stated that there was also an attempt to murder his 105-year-old father and 85-year-old mother.
The other thing we're asking to be done by this motion is to condemn in the strongest terms possible the wanton destruction of property that we witnessed yesterday. And I dare say, Honorable Speaker, that wanton destruction, as the mover of this motion has said, was visited largely on the people of the Mount Kenya region, where I come from, on businesses owned by the people of Mount Kenya. Yesterday, Honorable Speaker, there was an attempt to kill my 105-year-old father and 85-year-old mother.
He further revealed his business and family were not the only ones that were affected in his constituency. He stated that the Kikuyu law courts were razed and the sub-county and county offices were also destroyed.
Their chief financier and key mobilizer, Honorable Speaker, yesterday we lost a court in Kikuyu. And criminal record rushed to court, obtained orders to stop their arrest, following information that the DCI had that they were involved in the mobilization of goons that looted from the people of Mount Kenya in Nairobi, including the burning down and deaths of Kenyans at the Sunbeam building somewhere along Kimathi Street, Honorable Speaker. They continue to be protected by the judiciary, Honorable Speaker, through that court order. Court orders using anticipatory bails cannot be into perpetuity, Honorable Speaker, because we are breeding impunity through these conservatory and preemptive orders, Honorable Speaker. The same characters, Honorable Speaker, are involved in the mobilization, financing, and looting that you saw yesterday, Honorable Speaker. Their chief financier and key mobilizer, Honorable Speaker, yesterday,
Ichung'wah claimed that the people who destroyed properties in his constituency were hired to carry out the task. Justin Sifa, TAS TV.
Strangling her with a cloth. Police found evidence including a CCTV footage and the cloth worn during the incident, linking Mwangi to the crime scene. The victim was pronounced dead on arrival at Kenlands Hospital. Our reporter Akoth Masi has more information.
A 17-year-old girl, Liz Njeri Mwangi, is in police custody in Nakuru, accused of murdering a 3-year-old child, Margaret Wanjiru Kirate. According to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, Mwangi allegedly lured the young victim away from a church in the Menengai area.
Pisi naendelea na mtoto wangu akakuja na nikampea switi. akaenda. Nikamwambia si ukae na simu hapa. Akakaa dakika kidogo, akaniambia nataka kuenda nje. Nikamwambia enda nje.
The incident occurred near PSEA Shalom Mchanganyiko Church, where the suspect reportedly took the child approximately 50 meters away from the premises. The young girl was later found unconscious and pronounced dead upon arriving at Kenlands Hospital.
CCTV inaonyesha mtoto akitoka kwa kanisa na huyo msichana mwenye alimuua. Ikafika mahali msichana ni mrefu kuniliko. Sasa ana kashironi kadogo. Yeye tu anaonekana ameskuti tu kidogo tu. Vile nilikuwa nimemdress na kaskafu. Ako kaskafu tu dia anamfinya nako. Mtoto ana struggle kiasi na anaanguka. Huyu msichana anaangalia mtoto anaona kweli amekufa.
Lakini kwa mafikirio yangu nafikiria hawa wasichana ni wale wanakuwa possessed. Sababu kuua mtu kama ni mtu ambaye alikuwa ni ile mtu unomo kuua mtu, wewe huwa mtu unarudi hapo kwa kanisa. Uwezi huwa mtu ambaye ni kitendo unaitaka capital offense na uende ukae nyumbani tu.
Police say Mwangi was arrested after a thorough investigation and crucial evidence was recovered. CCTV footage linked the suspect to the crime scene and the clothes she wore during the incident, along with the piece of cloth used to commit the crime, were found in her possession.
Atachunguzwa na atapelekwa mpaka hospitali tujue the state of mind. Ile kitu ilimsubua kwa akili yake ni nini. Fika kuua mwenzake, na baada ya hayo sheria itachukua mkondo wake.
Akoth Basi reporting for TAS TV, Kiambu County.
The government of Kenya has approved the recapitalization of the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, to strengthen its capacity to stock and distribute essential medicine and medical supplies for the financial year 2025 to 2026. This renewed funding aims to eliminate drug stockouts, ensure timely deliveries to public health facilities, and support the rollout of the universal health coverage across all the 47 counties. The recapitalization will also support reforms within KEMSA, including improved supply chain system, better governance, and enhanced accountability. This move underscores the government's commitment to building a responsive, reliable, transparent health system that guarantees access to the quality health care of every Kenyan. Our reporter John Masharia with more information.
Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has spoken candidly on matters of national security. Following public outrage over the mysterious death of blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody, addressing Parliament, Murkomen emphasized the need for accountability, insisting that justice must prevail regardless of rank or position in the security forces. Murkomen, while expressing deep sympathy to the family of the late blogger, stated that no one would be shielded from prosecution. He assured the nation that investigations into Ojwang's death will be impartial and thorough, noting, "As a parent, I feel the pain. No one should die in the hands of those meant to protect them."
Very much. First, let me say that on the question of the first question by Eric was in relation to the role of the DIG in the question of the issue to do with the murder of Mr. Albert Ojwang. I'd like to say that, and whether or not he should resign. I'd like to say that the investigations, as I've already said earlier, are going on with IPOA. IPOA is doing its part in terms of investigations. DIG Lagat is a seasoned police officer who understands what it takes to carry out matters of investigations and where or whether or not his conduct or act or position can affect that investigations. And I think we will cross the bridge when we reach there. When there is a closer relationship between the investigation that IPOA is doing and what he considers to be an interference, I think we will cross that bridge when we reach there. At the moment, let's leave the IPOA to do its part, but also the DIG himself to assess the extent of his involvement based on the investigations that are going, or is position vis-a-vis the investigations and then make that decision when we cross there.
At the same time, the Cabinet Secretary warned against blanket condemnation of the police, saying that many security officers operate under extremely tough conditions. He called on leaders and the public to avoid politicizing issues of the national security, urging for a balanced conversation that holds individuals accountable without undermining the entire security apparatus. Reporting for TAS TV from Thika, I am Faith Ngasi.
Leaders from across Africa have gathered for a special summit aimed at strengthening joint efforts in the fight against drug trafficking and abuse. The summit is being held in Nairobi, bringing together heads of the state, health experts, law enforcement agency, and civil society group. Our reporter Faith Ngasi with more information.
Financial difficulties at the Kenya Medical Supply Authority has led to a period of challenges, key among them being an ability to procure essential health products and technologies. Speaking at the Halfway House in Nairobi County during a media briefing on the ongoing rollout of Tafikia, the Health Cabinet Secretary Adedwale said comprehensive reforms plans are underway at the Kenya Medical Supply Authority KEMSA to ensure drugs are available across all the public health facilities in the country.
To make sure that the story of hakuna madawa kwa mahospitali hasa ya serikali will be a thing of the past. And that's why we are refilling the capacity of KEMSA from the current 47% to 99%.
The CES further said track and trace technology will be used to monitor everyday drug journey from the manufacturer to a uniquely patient at the facility to ensure counterfeit drugs don't find their way into the market.
Never hear of expired drugs, of buying drugs that are not needed in the market until they expire at their warehouses. KEMSA will be a different KEMSA.
Duale said Digital Health Agency and the Social Health Authority has identified and closed over 729 compliant facilities along the country.
Digitizing all aspects of the healthcare, from the patient records to facility operations, to eliminate fraud, to reduce inefficiencies, and ensure seamless service delivery.
The government has allocated 1.75 billion shillings to settle pending arrests. It has also reaffirmed its commitment to implement all the return to work agreement. The CS, however, urged union leaders in health sector space to match this goodwill by the government with constructive dialogue.
Allocated, as I said earlier, 1.75 billion to settle the pending arrears and reaffirm our commitment to implementing the all return to work agreements. This is a government that acts and not just talks. We also urge our union leaders to match this goodwill with a constructive dialogue. Let us end disruptive strikes and instead work together towards sustainable solution. For the sake of our patients.
Reporting for TAS, I'm John Masharia.
The government has secured 16.5 billion shillings to strengthen climate resilience, improving food securities, and protecting the natural resources in rural areas. The funding from the International Fund for Agriculture Development will support a new 10-county program targeting environment, restoration, and income generation for smallholder communities, at a time when climate change continues to threaten livelihoods across the country. Our reporter Agnes Wanjira with more details.
The Auditor General's review of the National Social Security Fund released early this month paints a troubling picture, while showing a possible 16 billion shillings exposure from poor investments, unlimited contributions, and stalled projects. But speaking during the opening of the International Social Security Association conference in Nairobi, NSSF Managing Trustee David Koros says no money has been lost.
If you read the auditor's report, and for the first time ever, NSSF got an unqualified audit report. Unqualified audit report. That's the most important message. The second issue, the figure they are quoting is not actually what was lost. It is misinterpretation. It is money stuck in projects We have legacy issues which we are dealing with.
The fund is also defending its planned investments in the new Ronimau Summit Toll Road Consortium, saying it is a well-vetted revenue-generating venture that aligns with the strategy to diversity and grow pension returns. But uncertainty looms as some quarters are questioning whether such large-scale infrastructure deals are appropriate for a pension fund already under audit scrutiny.
We've been talking about building Likoni Bridge, looking for billions of money, trying to borrow from the World Bank, trying to borrow from ADB, trying to borrow from somebody, from the Chinese, trying to borrow. But maybe National Social Security Fund, we can partner in a way that as you grow and expand with a very good vision, we don't have to borrow money to build the Nyali Bridge. We can build it with our own Kenyan money.
With 16 billion shillings in question and billions more poised for investment, the spotlight is firmly on SSSF's next move and whether it can truly balance growth with safety in managing the country's retirement lifeline. Agnes Wanjera reporting for TAS TV, Vika.
And that brings us to the end of TAS TV News. Thank you for staying with us. I've been yours, Derrick Kamuli.
Ready to learn German? TAS College is the perfect place to start. Grab a partial scholarship opportunity in German language beginner course today and unlock new opportunities to work abroad.
Guten Morgen. Good morning. Guten Tag. Good afternoon. Guten Abend. Good evening. These are some of the words that you will be learning in our school. So come and join the new beginner classes for German classes at our school.
Whether it is for travel, career, or personal growth, TAS College has you covered. Whether you prefer online or physical classes, we have the ideal learning option for you. With monthly intakes and experienced instructors, you will be speaking German in no time. We are located in Vika Town along Kenyatta Highway at Nema Plaza 2nd floor opposite Vika Bazaar building. Ready to begin? Call 0798-154-042 to enroll today. TAS College, striving through talent.